Hello, everyone. We are now live, and I am filing towards the Tribal Council area. Behind me, over there, is the Grindel tribe. They are heading on in behind me as well, and they will be voting someone out shortly. Got some drum beats going in anticipation of this tribal. All right, we are here, so let's go ahead and show you our players.
All right, come on in, Grindel.
We've got Ale, Zoe, Meg M, Cam, and Jorge. Filing on back into Tribal Council.
All right, friends, welcome back. I'm sure you're happy to see me. Jorge, we're going to start with you.
Why don't you?
So the end of last tribal that you attended ended a little interesting to me. It feels like you're somewhat called out by the person leaving the game. How did you react to that? How did you explain that to the tribe? I mean, fill us in if you're able to.
Yeah, well, I was the other person who was left out of the votes, which Justin didn't know that. But he thought, he put all his trust in me, and he thought I had a good sense of what was going on, and I didn't. So that's what happened. He felt betrayed by somebody who was actually his ally. Then they all said that they were sorry, no hard feelings, and I reciprocated that it's a game. I preferred it to be a part of the majority, as I'll be today. So I'm good.
Okay, yeah. I mean, let's stay on that for a minute. I mean, you're all veterans. We can talk about this scenario. Classic scenario. You get left out of a vote. You come back. They're like, "Oh, we just couldn't tell you on that one, but we totally trust you. You know, we want to integrate you back in." I mean, how do you read through that kind of BS and kind of fight to get back in and claw back in? It sounds like you're confident that you have.
How do I say this? It's something that, you don't have to take too harshly. All four of them voted separate from me, but I'm not gonna, just lay down there. So I'm just gonna talk to people, and I've actually forged good relationships with a couple of people here who may feel that they may be in the bottom of a pairing. So I hope that they can see that and use that to their advantage and move forward stronger than just being somebody who's at the bottom rung of somebody else's game.
Interesting. We'll flip over to you, Cameron. We'll touch back on some of that, but you were the one who received the opposing votes at the last tribal. I mean, how do you handle that? How do you manage your relationship with Jorge coming back? I mean, what does that conversation look like?
Yeah, it's kind of like what he just said. You have to say no hard feelings. This is a game. We're playing a game, and you have to write someone's name down. I got some votes, and I'm still here, so I'm grateful for that. And so what I'm saying is like what I'm holding on to is the fact that there were people who were on my side, and I am hoping that those people are still on my side. And I said, I was like, I'll hear you out, but I don't know if this is like a working relationship, like moving forward.
Okay. I mean, do you feel like this is going to be somewhat of a repeat of that last tribal council where votes are going to go both kind of those directions, or do you feel like it's a clean slate and maybe a third option has arisen for the group?
There's no third option for me.
Okay.
I'll just say that.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Well, kind of jumping off that, Zoe, Jorge mentioned, bottoms of pairs or bottoms of groups. I mean, at the end of the day, if there is a group of 3 or 4 here, someone is on the bottom. I mean, how do you read into that and kind of understand where your hierarchy is, and how do you trust that you understand where you are in that place?
Yeah, that's a good question. And it is, we are in the veterans tribe, so I feel like dynamics are almost always changing, as seen by our last blind side. So I think really just trying to read people, and I mean it's difficult because it is Survivor, and trying to see who do you feel like who do you think is like being honest and who you can trust, and also who will help you further on in the game, because I think we're still, we are in a stage where we need to have the strongest tribe going forward, because this is our second tribal, so we definitely really need to stay a strong tribe. So I think that's what I'm factoring in the vote.
Okay. Meg, I mean, this is a small group. There's nowhere to hide, but if it truly is kind of, between Jorge and Cameron, I mean, do you sit back and say, okay, I mean, that's not me, so that's easier? Do you try to put your hand on the scale in one way or the other to try to gain a little bit of control?
This is a small group, and it's also a really strong group in a lot of different ways. So there were, I mean, to say that it was definitely going to go one way or another is just not true. People were throwing out really very convincing and compelling arguments. I'll just say, I mean, like I said last time, I vote with the people who I know I can trust. And if I just have to believe in that. Otherwise, I'm going to be, at sea. And I don't feel like I'm at sea. Oh,
Okay.
gosh, that was kind of good.
We're all sort of at sea. It's time to leave. Well done, Meg. That'll make you edit. Ale, I mean, the other kind of factor here is, you're shrinking as a tribe. I mean, challenge strength is important. 5 quickly becomes 4 today. 4 could quickly become 3 later. I mean, it is quickly going, and I don't want to put too much of an emphasis on it, but I feel like, there was a big struggle in that challenge from your perspective. So how do you go back to the tribe and really convince the people that you worked with last vote that that's not going to happen again? You can trust me to perform when it matters.
No, I felt really shitty. Like we lost the challenge because I couldn't balance the balls. I went into it feeling really confident. Season 1, we had 1 with 1 ball and I did it really fast. So I was like, oh, I can do 2. I felt really good going into it. I just couldn't, right? And like, it sucks, right? Like, I apologize to everyone. I told everyone, like, I know that we lost this because of me. I hope that they will consider everything else, right? Like, I hope the one shot doesn't define me, right? Like, I hope none of us can be defined by just one moment in this game, because we've spent so much time together, and so much emphasis on different things. So like, that moment should not define us, right? And hopefully that's my lowest moment in that game, right? But yeah, I think it's just talking to people and just reminding them that that's not it for me, right? Like, I performed really good in every other challenge, right? I couldn't balance the balls.
Okay, fair enough. So Ale kind of got a little choked up talking about, hey, we've spent so much time together. It's a shame to have to vote someone out. I mean, is that really already there? Have you all bonded that closely already? I mean, in just a few short hours together.
Oh yeah, I definitely think so, especially after we won our first immunity. We had a little nap and we just got to know each other at camp, which definitely makes it harder. But then again, this is Survivor and it has to be done.
Okay. I do want to give either Cameron or Jorge another opportunity to vocalize something if anything else needs to be said. Otherwise, we can get to the vote.
I am sticking with what I've been doing this whole time.
Okay.
I don't want either of you to be a third or a fourth in an alliance that will not prioritize you. You know that I don't have anybody else besides the 2 of you, so I'm willing to stake my life in this game for the 2 of you. So please consider that. They're not able to do that. They haven't even told you that. So
that's not how I view things, but I appreciate your pitch.
Okay, sounds like this pitch has been given before. And with that, we'll get to the vote. We're going to start on that side. So we'll start with you, Meg.
All right, and away steps our first player heading on down to the voting booth for this tribal council. And as always, we are stepping away as well. I'm going to walk a little faster this time. Because, you know, we want to get over there so that we can get to chatting. Pictured to my right is the voting gazebo where all our players are casting their votes. We're going to go ahead and cross this bridge so that you and I can catch up. And reminder, as always, ask questions if you got them, and I will do my best to answer them. We're just going to switch this camera on over to me. And maybe we'll go by the challenge field this time because the other players are up there and within earshot, which is not good. So, all right. Okay. Cool. All right, so we are back to the challenge field, but not for another challenge right now, thank God. So we're just gonna catch up over here. Sorry. I'm like looking over my shoulder to make sure players can't hear me. All right, so we're just gonna post up with this very colorful background, and I am going to pull out my little notebook of stuff. Let's see. Okay, can I share where the current disadvantage tokens have landed? I cannot, because I do not know that yet, but as soon as I know, y'all will know. All right, so this is the Grindel tribe. We just saw Ale, Jorge, Cam, Zoe, and Meg M at Tribal Council. And if you will remember from the last time they were at Tribal Council earlier today, there was kind of a group of 3 that formed of Ale, Meg, M, and Cam. They were kind of like a little triangle, and Zoe was being maybe pulled in by Cam as a 4th. I am told that potentially this dynamic has now shifted to where Meg M, Cam, and Zoe are now more of a tight 3 with maybe Ale as the 4th person. And I think they do all, however, feel very comfy together. I'm told they did vote together for at the last tribal council for Justin, so obviously they gave their word to each other, and that was proven correct, with Jorge voting on the outs. Jorge obviously not taking things lying down. I'm hearing that he advertised himself as kind of like a meat shield, you know, keep me around and you can hide behind me so that I'm not like, you know, you're not the blatant obvious choice I will be and I'll go before you. Earlier I'm told he was also thinking that Zoe was on the bottom of that like grouping of 4. I was told originally he was like trying to vie to replace her by voting for her. And so originally it seemed like he was going to maybe be voting for Zoe. It sounded from that tribal that we just heard that that might not be the case anymore. He was staring at Zoe's head as he was pleading his case at the very end of that tribal council, looking like perhaps trying to make Ale, Zoe, and himself into a trio, leaving Cam and Meg on the outs. Obviously, Cam and Meg felt pretty strongly about that, were shaking their heads, were, you know, poo-pooing that thought. But in other dramatic news, Ale and Jorge bonded overnight last night, so Ale doesn't want to vote Jorge, even if the 4 of them are supposed to be voting Jorge. So he actually told that group of Meg, Zoe, and Cam that he didn't want to write Jorge's name down and would rather vote one of them, like just throwing a vote on them. I'm told that Meg M said that, you know, she didn't mind if hers was the name that came up from his stray vote. She thinks that if Jorge is writing Zoe's name down, she thinks that Zoe would be very concerned seeing her name twice at a tribal council, and that maybe would feel more at ease if it was like a one vote Zoe, 1 vote Meg, and then the rest on Jorge. So that is kind of her. But again, I'm not sure that that's the strategy anymore, given this last tribal council and what we just kind of overheard since I was informed. So I'm not sure exactly if things have completely changed or not. Zoe was kind of, making a face or two when Jorge was pleading, so I don't know how convinced she is of that is the best move for her. But, we'll find out shortly with the votes. Of note as well, okay, sorry. Of note as well, we're hearing that, of note as well, we're hearing that Bennett kind of passed by this tribe earlier in like a bathroom area situation and spilled the beans on the Alicia being idled out of the game by Katie thing. So that's whipped them into a frenzy because it means Ale basically doesn't believe that Katie had the fundraising advantage because Cam had told him that Alicia is the one that had it, so he's like not thinking it. But Cam was aware of the idol that Alicia had and told his tribe about it, and now they think that maybe Alicia didn't play it because these idols that the players are finding are either war idols or tides idols. And that icon that Bennett tried desperately to hand to Cam as though it was anything in one of our last tribal councils we saw is actually designating if it is a war round or a tides round. So if a player has a war idol, they can only play it when there's a sword on Cam's podium. And when the players have a tides idol, they can only play it when there's an oar on the podium, and it gets flipped around every round. So so there was like a lot of drama about that, completely separate from what they themselves had going on in their own vote. So wild. All right, we are heading back in with Cam to reveal the votes. So the anticipation will not have to kill us for much longer.
Okay. If anybody has a hidden immunity idol and would like to play one, now would be the time to do so.
Just for fun, is this something that I could play for myself?
This is not anything.
It's great decoration.
Yeah. Thank you. All right, we'll get to the vote. First vote, Jorge. Second vote, Jorge. Third vote, Cam. Fourth vote, Cam. The next person voted out of Can You Survive the Tides of War? Jorge.
No hard feelings. Love you all. Kill it.
Sorry, you can bring it.
Oh,
I gotta stop this. You're not out until I do this. Jorge, the tribe is spoken. Thank you.
All right, and we are still live. We're going to follow Jorge out of this tribal council area and up on towards that tree line. And we are going to get a few thoughts from him.
Understanding the layers are going to be very important for you. Keep going, but we'll get you out of here as soon as possible, right? Take a break there. Yep. Take it down. Okay.
All right, as soon as the other players are well enough away, this will be your time to just share thoughts and anything that you are thinking with our viewers.
Let me know when.
All right, the floor is yours, Jorge. This is your time.
It's tough not to be bitter, but they're playing a game that didn't include me from the start, so I'm sure they had some connections there that I wasn't a part of. And although I gave it my all in all of the challenges, it wasn't enough to keep me around. So best wishes, but I hope somebody else wins.
All right. And Jorge, you made it very, very far deep into day 2. A lot to be proud of about your challenge performances, like you said. Is there anything in particular that you're proud of about your time out here?
I enjoyed, the genuine connections that I had with people from the start of the game before we got into the Civil War aspect. Um, it felt fun. It felt nice, and that was very enjoyable. I also give a huge shout out to production for making all this happen. The challenges have been a lot of fun. They have been tough and difficult to crack at times, so it's definitely quite difficult. So I would do this again in a heartbeat.
Amazing. We love to hear it. And Jorge, you are playing for an incredibly worthy cause. This is your chance to shout them out to all of our viewers and let everyone know who you're playing for.
Yeah, shout out to Kaleidoscope Youth Center in Columbus, Ohio. They help LGBTQ youth find a lot of resources, housing, and education. So I'm very proud to fundraise $2,130 for my community,
Incredible.
and I'm glad that some of that will go back to them. So excited again for this experience, and I'm very grateful.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Jorge. I'm going to hand you off to your tribe handler so that you can head to No Man's Land. Reminder that Jorge is not yet completely out of this game.
Send good vibes, please.
Asking for our viewers to root him on as he hopes to get back in this game. And bye, Jorge. All right, stay with us because I believe we will be going right into our next tribal council. So I'm going to walk on over. I see Cam is resetting some of these torches, and we are still live and good to go on our next tribal council.
I'll get him in.
Yeah. Huh. Okay, my necklace just came off. So just gonna stow it in my little fanny pack I have. Okay. Hang tight, everyone. We are just gathering our rookie tribe that will file on into our next tribal council. Okay. Got the drums going, and here they come. Sagan is filing in behind me. Let's tune in to them now.
First of all, hi.
Come on in, Sagan.
Rayhan, I'm so sorry you're so loud. I love the bear.
All right, and heading on towards tribal council is Maya, Jessica, MC, Kevin H, and Brad.
Welcome back.
Thank you so much.
Great to be here.
I'm sure you're all very happy. MC, let's start with you. A unanimous vote last time. I think there was a lot of discussion about, hey, first time we vote, we're going to learn who our allies are. Unfortunately, everyone left is your ally. I mean, if it's a unanimous vote, you're not really learning anything. So how do you kind of take that into this vote where you're not really sure, hey, who's with me or who just voted with me because that was the easy thing to do?
That's such a good question.
And if you spend a few seconds thinking on it, what might you say to that?
I'd say this vote is a different vote. We're vets now, so things are different.
Okay. How would you approach a vote as a vet that you would do differently than when you were a rookie?
Geez. I'll vote with my heart.
Okay. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What does that mean to you, voting with your heart? Like who you
So
like the
much.
most or who you're getting along with? Are you voting for tribe strength?
Just, it means so much to me.
Okay.
So much.
I'll let you slide with that one.
Thank you.
Brad, I mean, how do you approach this vote? You're 6. quickly went down to 5, quickly now going down to 4. I mean, even if you're in the majority here, you have to have contingency plans for 3, for 2. I mean, how do you plan ahead in that type of way?
I think try to talk to people that might have the same long-term vision as you, that agree with maybe where the tribe needs to go. And so I think that's what you ultimately have to do right now, is just kind of find people that share a similar mindset. It's not like we've known each other all that long, but it's been a pretty cool 24 hours. And I just think that some of us are all in different directions about what we might need to do.
Okay. What kind of different directions? Like in terms of like, are you talking some are focusing on tribe strength and some are focusing on other aspects?
Yeah, I think like some of us are focused on tribe strength, some are focused on the long game.
Okay.
And I think everybody has a slightly different perspective about what's most valuable right now, which I think is going to make this vote very, very confusing.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, speaking of tribe strength, my kind of the highs and lows of it. I mean, the challenge you won, big, huge time hero moment with how fast you solved that logic puzzle. That super high, and then obviously the low of not being able to kind of get across the finish line with that puzzle. So how do you, if people are talking challenge strength, kind of give that argument back to the group?
I guess. I don't know. I guess I've just been trying to say that puzzle was really hard.
Okay.
And I don't know. I mean, you always say the puzzle is the best equalizer. So that puzzle could have gone either way for either tribe, and it was tough, and I gave it my best shot, but I also feel like I smoked everybody on that logic puzzle today. So I feel like that hopefully counts for something. And at the end of the day, you just have to hope that people are thinking about more than just the most recent challenge, and hope that that's enough.
Okay. Kevin and Brad talked about, like some people are looking for those kind of long-term people that are thinking in the same way. I mean, what do you look for in kind of a long-term ally, someone who's going to be here for longer? I mean, is it just someone who is thinking the same way, or someone who brings something different than you to the piece of the puzzle?
I mean, I would say a little bit of both of those things. You want somebody who has a similar vision, right? Like of how you can work together. But you also want somebody who complements you. Like you don't want, I tell people all the time, you don't want a whole bunch of Kevins running around doing everything, because that's boring. And then when you need skills that I don't have, then you won't have them. So, you need a mixture of people who think like you, but also people who bring something else to the table as well.
Do you feel like you found some compliments within this group of 5?
I'm hoping so, because I got a vote last time, and I don't want any more this time.
Fair enough. Jess, where do you kind of weigh in on that, potential battle between, focusing on the short term versus focusing on the long term with this type of vote here?
It obviously is really important to look at the short term, as far as we don't want to have to come to tribal council again. But at the end of the day, if you don't win, you lose. So, you want to get as far as you can in the game. So, paying attention to people that you can work with and you think will be beneficial to your game long term, that you can benefit each other is important, I think, at this point, especially in a small tribe.
Yeah. Exciting. MC, we'll go back to you quickly. So last time we talked about kind of, your pre-tribal discussions, and you kind of mentioned that it was a little bit more collaborative than, going off into small pairs and things like that. Did things change during the second vote? Were there more kind of smaller groups and smaller conversations like that? Oh, I don't love that.
Don't love the gunshots.
Well, we have fewer people, so the groups were smaller. But overall, we just basically kind of did it the same way.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a small group, like you mentioned. I mean, there's only 5 names that can be thrown out. No real place to hide. Do you feel like all 5 names were mentioned by someone as a potential vote, or it was narrowed down to 2 or 3?
Well, I feel like we all said each other's names at some point in some way or another. They're a bad shot if they keep taking that. Yeah, we all said each other's names at some point.
Well said. Okay. Does anyone have anything else to add, or you feel like you're all ready to put some names on parchment.
Please don't vote for me.
Okay, well said. Brad, we'll start with you this time.
All right, and away Brad goes to vote with the other Sagan tribe members to follow. We are going to head on towards the gunshot sound because I am dedicated to you and letting you know what's going on. Sean saying it's truly tides of war with the gunshots. Could not agree more. Someone must be doing target practice in the neighborhood. All right. Sorry, I'm trying to get the camera to flip around. This new system is, picky. All right, here we are. So let's head on over so that we can have a little chit chat, you and I. Again, if you have any questions, shout them out, and I will answer them if I can, if I know. Okay, and if not, me and my notebook are, full of stuff to say. So, hooray. Okay, heading on up here, almost comfortably out of earshot, I think. Okay. All right, fabulous. Just scanning the perimeter for... Yikes. Okay. Wow, we're really adding some drama into this stream. Okay. All right, so here we are with the Sagan tribe, which consists of Kevin H., Brad, MC, Maya, and Jessica. Mike James wants to know, are there any strong alliances forming yet? So we do have one duo right now that appears to be pretty confirmed, with Brad and Kevin H. Kind of, bonding, potentially, I'm not sure, super solidifying that they're a duo, but I believe that they are in fact a duo on this tribe. Not sure how obvious or not they're being about it, but they did sit next to each other at tribal council, so who knows? I think other players have been doing that as well throughout this day. On the other side, we have, so it's confusing. On the other side of the tribe, of course, are Jessica, Maya, and MC. And Jessica has basically told us that the vibe of their tribe is more quiet, more reserved. I think we kind of saw that with everyone's tribal council answers. Maybe Kevin H. a little bit of, pizzazz, but everyone's pretty measured in what they were saying. And as a result of the more quiet nature of this tribe, MC is standing out quite significantly. They were the leader for yesterday's reward challenge, and they're pretty loud in normal circumstances, which was in stark contrast to their tribal council performance just then. Very tight-lipped, really literally giving Cam nothing. Not entirely sure if that's a strategy to prove to their tribe that they don't always have to be, talking and loud, or if, I'm not sure, or to have a grand plan not given away. I will say MC originally kind of wanted an all-girls situation, and was trying to pull in Maya, maybe pull in Jessica, kind of wanted a Black Widow brigade going on from Survivor, a famous all-women's alliance if you are a fan. However, and so originally MC was targeting Kevin, but now seems to have thrown away that plan entirely and is now going after Maya. So Maya, of course, touched on it a little bit, had the puzzle in the challenge and could not make it happen. So all eyes are on Maya as far as that challenge performance was concerned. Oh my God, we're already back. Jesus. Okay, so basically, let's see. Kevin H. pretty stuck on Maya's challenge performance. And how it was not great. Jessica is aware of it, but a little more forgiving of it. And in fact, Jessica kind of almost views herself a little bit in the middle of this tribe, maybe a little floater, but does appear to be gravitating towards Brad and Kevin H. Let's see. Currently, none of them believe that an idol is in play because they found an overturned rock back at their camp. So they think that is a case closed, solid evidence for the fact that none of them have an idol. So, to know about that. But all right, so now we're heading on back to the tribal council area. That was a fast vote, as I guess there were only 5 players and only 5 votes to be cast. So, heading on back in here so that we can see the result. This is starting to feel like a 21 gun salute to our game. We're gonna go with that. Cam just ahead of us with the voting treasure chest.
All right. If anybody has a hidden immunity idol and would like to play one, now would be the time to do so. Okay, I'll get to the votes. First vote, MC. Second vote, Maya. Third vote, MC. Fourth vote, and the 6th person voted out of Can You Survive the Tides at War, MC. Please bring your choice. It's one of the yellow ones. That first one.
Gimme.
MC, the tribe has spoken.
Bye.
All right, and away scurries MC, and we are going to chase her, but not actually. MC!
Okay, another unanimous vote.
We are still live. We're going to go ahead and follow you this way because we want to catch up with you.
I don't know what direction it is. Someone knows.
MC acting like this was an immunity challenge and sprinting their heart out.
Bye.
All right, we're just waiting for everyone to file away, and then this will be your time to just chat with the viewers. Any thoughts you have, anything you want to share?
No.
All right, cool. So, obviously, you made it super deep into day 2 of this game. No easy feat. This is no joke. It is hot. Nature is naturing. You have a lot to be proud of about your time out here. I'd love to know if there's anything in particular that you're super proud of about yourself.
I feel like I did overall really well. I did a lot of help around camp, and I hope all of them lose.
Amazing. All right. And MC, you are playing for an incredibly worthy cause. This is your chance to shout out to all the viewers and let everyone know who you're playing for.
I'm playing for Maine Needs. It's a really incredible charity that's run by volunteers for members of the Maine community that are experiencing housing insecurity, resource insecurity, and they also are working to preserve the dignity of those people as well. Please donate to them. You can follow them on Instagram and also find them online.
All right. Thank you so much, MC. I'm going to hand you off to your handler, Barry, who will get you where you need to go.
Okay.
All right.
Bye. Whatever.
All right. Okay, MC is filing away, presumably towards No Man's Land. Not sure if they'll stick around there, but you know, that is every player's decision if they want to stick it out on No Man's Land or not. So let's see. Let's head on over to Cam so that we can let you know when we will next be live. All right. Hey, Cam. When are we going live next?
It's going to be a quick turnaround. Yeah, we're going
Quick
to bring them in.
turnaround.
Yeah, but we'll take a break from the stream, maybe 10 minutes.
10:15.
10:15. All right, in 10 to 15 minutes,
Surprise challenge.
we will be back for a surprise challenge. Excuse me. So stick around. We will see you soon. 10 to 15 minutes. And in the iconic words of MC, bye.